Across this vast nation, there are places where the veil between our world and the spectral realm wears thin. Places where the echoes of tragedy, anguish and terror linger, clinging to the very stones and mortar. This is America's haunted halls, where we'll journey into the heart of darkness, exploring some of the most haunted places in America. Get ready to confront the spirits of the past as we uncover the bone-chilling history and paranormal mysteries that continue to haunt these locations. Our exploration into America's haunted underbelly brings us to the imposing and decaying walls of Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This, folks, isn't just an abandoned prison. It's a massive Gothic fortress of sorrow. For nearly 150 years, Eastern State was one of the most feared and innovative prisons in the world. It housed some of the most notorious criminals, gangsters like Al Capone and bank robber Slick Willie Sutton. But the real terror here didn't end with their sentences. Oh no, this place is a breeding ground for paranormal activity that would chill you to your core. We're talking about cold spots, disembodied whispers, and shadowy figures lurking in the decaying cell blocks. Visitors and former guards alike have reported seeing full-bodied apparitions, feeling the touch of unseen hands, and hearing the clanging of cell doors long after they've been bolted shut. Imagine the despair that permeated these walls, the isolation, the anguish, the years spent staring at these very walls. It's no wonder that energy, that raw human emotion, is trapped here, feeding the darkness. One of the most haunted areas is cell block 12. This is where prisoners were kept in solitary confinement, their only view a small skylight that offered little more than a glimpse of the world they left behind. Visitors and investigators have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, as if they're being watched by unseen eyes. Some have even claimed to have been physically touched or pushed by unseen forces. The stories we've uncovered from Eastern State are enough to make your blood run cold. One former guard told us about the time he was making his rounds late at night. As he passed by a cell, he could have sworn he saw a pair of glowing eyes staring out at him from the darkness. He froze, his heart pounding in his chest, but when he went back to investigate, the cell was empty. Another chilling account comes from a group of visitors who were exploring the prison on a guided tour. As they walked through cell block 4, they heard what sounded like a man's voice, whispering their names. They stopped dead in their tracks, their blood turning to ice. But when they turned around, there was no one there. These stories, my friends, are just a glimpse into the dark history and paranormal activity that plague Eastern State Penitentiary. This place is a breeding ground for negative energy, and the spirits here are just waiting for the opportunity to make contact with the living. Nestled high in the majestic Rocky Mountains of Colorado stands the grand and imposing Stanley Hotel. Now, this place isn't just known for its breathtaking views. Oh no, this iconic hotel holds a dark and twisted history that has inspired countless nightmares. The Stanley Hotel is a place where the living and the dead walk side by side, where whispers of the past echo through the halls, and where the supernatural is just another part of the scenery. Stephen King himself drew inspiration from this very hotel, penning the iconic horror novel The Shining after a terrifying stay in room 217. He wasn't the only one who felt the presence of the unseen guests. Over the years, guests have reported a wide range of paranormal activity, from disembodied voices and unexplained noises to full-bodied apparitions and even physical contact. Some guests claim to have seen the ghosts of children playing in the hallways, while others have reported seeing the ghost of F.O. Stanley himself, the hotel's original owner, still keeping a watchful eye over his beloved establishment. The fourth floor is said to be a hotbed of paranormal activity, particularly room 418, where guests have reported luggage being unpacked by unseen hands and lights flickering erratically. But the most infamous room of all, the one that sends shivers down my spine, is room 217. It was here that Stephen King experienced the terrifying events that inspired The Shining. Guests have reported feeling a cold, oppressive presence in the room, as if someone or something is watching their every move. Some have even claimed to have woken up in the middle of the night to find a ghostly figure standing at the foot of their bed. One chilling account comes from a couple who stayed in room 217 on their honeymoon. In the middle of the night, the wife woke up to find her husband missing from the bed. She searched the room frantically, but there was no sign of him. Suddenly, she felt two icy cold hands on her shoulders, and she turned around to find her husband standing behind her, his eyes wide with terror. He claimed to have no memory of leaving the bed or of the events that had just transpired. Another spine-tingling story comes from a group of friends who were staying in one of the hotel's suites. As they were getting ready for bed, they heard what sounded like children laughing and running down the hallway outside their room. They opened the door to investigate, but the hallway was empty. When they mentioned the incident to the hotel staff the next morning, they were told that there were no children staying on their floor that night. The Stanley Hotel is a place where the past and the present collide, where the veil between our world and the spirit world is thin, and where the supernatural is just another part of the experience. It's a place that will stay with you long after you've checked out, a place that will haunt your dreams and leave you questioning the very nature of reality. All right, folks, buckle up because we're heading to the rock, Alcatraz Island. This place is practically synonymous with hard time and despair. Surrounded by frigid, unforgiving waters, Alcatraz housed some of the most notorious criminals in American history. Al Capone, George Machine Gun Kelly, the Birdman. Their presence still lingers in the cold, damp air. You can practically hear the echoes of clanging cell doors and the whispers of tortured souls. Visitors and former guards have reported unexplained cold spots, disembodied voices, and even full-bodied apparitions. Some say the spirits here are trapped, unable to escape the island, forever bound to the prison that held them captive in life. We're going deep inside the cell blocks, into the heart of D-Block's solitary confinement. They called it the Hole. Imagine the darkness, the isolation, the feeling of being completely cut off from the world, both the living and the dead. It's enough to drive anyone mad, and in this place, that madness seems to linger. We've got our work cut out for us here. The energy on Alcatraz is palpable, heavy with the weight of its dark history. This isn't just an investigation, it's a confrontation with the spirits of America's most hardened criminals. Let's see if they're willing to talk. From the decaying halls of Eastern State Penitentiary to the chilling heights of the Stanley Hotel and the inescapable presence of Alcatraz, we've journeyed through some of America's most haunted locations. Did you feel the chills down your spine? Did you see a fleeting shadow or hear a whisper in the darkness? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and tell us about your own encounters with the paranormal. Don't forget to subscribe because we're just getting started. We've got more spine-tingling investigations coming your way, exploring the dark corners of America's haunted history. Until then, keep it locked down.